That the Fairfield Board of Education hereby convenes, no, we're coming out of executive session. Public has been duly informed. Hold on. Public has been duly informed of this meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by posting at least 48 hours in advance a notice on the bulletin board in Stevenson and Churchill schools, a notice to the township clerk, and a notice to the Passaic Herald News and the Progress. Now, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hello, everyone. At this time, we'll take public comments on agenda items only. Anyone? Comments? Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen.
Hi, good evening, everyone. In the absence of Dr. Cicatelli, I'm just going to go over her side of the agenda. So under personnel, employment, approve maternity leave of absence with Laurel Osterman, replacing Jennifer D'Elia. Number 2 is accept 2 resignations, one for Jennifer Russo DeSordi, whose last day will be January 30th, with regrets and best wishes and appreciation for her 18 years of service. The second one is to accept the resignation of Gina Rybacki. Last day will be February 5th, 2024, with regrets, best wishes, and appreciation for her 4 years of service to the students of Fairfield. On page 3, movement on the guide for Kyle Silvestri from a BA to MA effective February 1. Under non-certified staff on the same page, approve Milagros Rodriguez of Churchill School from 1 day per week to 5 days per week, effective January 1. The second is to also approve Grace Raffa as a cafeteria playground aide from Churchill School to Stevenson School, effective January 1, 2024. Approve part-time job descriptions for registered nurses, 2. Under substitutes and employment, approve the 2 substitutes as listed, Anthony Rubinetti and Rose Wallach. Can I have a motion, please, under personnel and recommendations?
Motion, discussion?
Second?
Second. Discussion, second.
Someone has to second.
Yeah,
Second.
I just want to say, in reference to the resignation, Ms. Russo Del Sordi, I had personal experience with her, with children in her class. She did a fantastic job. I'm sure she did a fantastic job for many other students and families in Fairfield. And I just want to personally thank her for her service to the district over the last 18 years.
Motion? Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Ms. Jandoli?
Yes.
On page 4 of the agenda, professional development approvals, approve as listed on item A of the agenda. Most of them are through the entitlement grants. Approve the safe return revision. This is done every 6 months, and it revised and sent to the State Department. Approval of field trips. Normally, this was approved in August because it passed the question. It's on the agenda this evening, as well as the approval for the clubs.
Motion?
Second?
Roll call.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Mr. De Pasquale?
Yes.
Ms. Jandoli?
Yes.
Okay. The middle of page 5, under policy, HIB investigations. Number 1 was confirmed HIB, number 2 was confirmed, and B under number 2 was confirmed not to satisfy the ABR. Motion?
Second?
Roll call.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Mr. De Pasquale?
Yes.
Mr. Jandoli?
Yes.
Okay, under the business section on page 6, I'm asking the board, as a consent resolution pending questions, to approve A, minutes from November 16, 2023, public and executive. B, under finance, bills and claims for 12/6/2023, for 12/14/2023, and for the payroll as of November 30th. Item C is transfer of funds. D is treasurer report for the month ending November 30th. E is accepting of the audit with notation that there were no audit recommendations. Under contracts, approve the remediation at Churchill School in the amount of $11,840 to the lowest quote for first onset property restoration. Item G and item H, roof replacements at Winston Churchill. There is a correction on the resolution. It's final eligible cost, so it's, instead of PEC, it's FEC. And the amount of $130,000, the state share is $52, and the local share is $78. Under architect professional fees, this was already approved in November. However, we neglected to listen that it was DeCara Rubino, and it has to be publicized in the newspaper. On page 8, for the PA system upgrade, this is paid through, a partial is paid through the NJ SIG grant in the amount of $2,033. So the board share is $1,197. JCT Solutions will get a purchase order to execute that. J is legal services for Cornell, Merlino, McKeever, and Osborne. Jeff Merlino is going to represent the board in terms of negotiations. Building use fee or building uses applications as listed on the bottom of page 8. And can I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Discussion also? Just to be clear, so, just to make sure everyone's clear, the total roof projects are almost $1 million, and the architect fees are based off of that, not of the final eligible cost of $130,000.
Thank you, Brian.
Can I have a roll call?
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Mr. De Pasquale?
Yes.
Ms. Jandoli?
Yes. At this time, do we have any old business to discuss?
I have old business. I just want to say thank you to the parents and the students that came out to the Fairfield Municipal Alliance/Recreation Winter Wonderland. I want to thank Dr. Cicatelli for sending out an email blast. We had the best turnout this year by our residents and our children that we've had in the past, and it's truly a wonderful event. So I just want to take a second and recognize the Municipal Alliance, the leaders on the Municipal Alliance, everything they do for this event. It's truly spectacular, and recreation for co-chairing it. I also want to touch briefly on the Superintendent Search Committee. I know I spoke about it in the past, so I just want to give you a little bit more details to the public. This is going to be a committee that's formed by 2 parents from Stevenson and 2 parents from Churchill, as well as 2 individuals from the community that do not have children in the district, but are in the district for a minimum of 5 years. Some of the things that this committee is going to weigh on is to decide whether or not we are going to use a search firm, to evaluate the needs and assessment for planning, assess the current state of the school district and its future needs. A search committee can be limited to input, not required to include participation in the interview process due to confidentiality concerns. The members should consider the time commitment because it's going to be great. And some of the things that we're going to be looking for are individuals with leadership experience, whether in education, business, or community organizations, Members should have experience in decision-making, strategic planning, and organizational management. Communication skills, members should possess effective communication skills as they will be interacting with the community, school board, and potential candidates. Members should be able to handle confidential information responsibly and seek individuals who can work collaboratively as part of a team. So once again, we're going to be choosing 2 parents from Stevenson, 2 parents from Churchill, and 2 community members. And if you're interested, please email board@fpsk6.org with your qualifications, and we will, our committee will look at them, and we'll start the process and start reaching out to people after the new year.
And I would
That's
just
it
like
for
to second Anthony's comments about the Municipal Alliance Winter Wonderland. Anthony, our board member, some former board members, some of our vendors were involved in this. The town, Municipal Alliance, Police Department, Fire Department, Public Works, Recreation, they did an absolute fantastic job. Our district's children's, our town's children's obviously are the main beneficiaries of this. They were, the whole event was fantastic, and they were blessed with an absolutely gorgeous afternoon, evening. I just can't thank them enough for the effort that they put into pulling off such a fantastic event. Thank you, Anthony, and thank you everyone else that was involved.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have any new business.
I have a couple things on the new business. So I just want to spearhead this before public comments. Yesterday, a community parent member reached out to me in regards to the West Essex Music Program mini concert and why our 6th grade class wasn't attending. And after doing some research and speaking with our superintendent, it turns out it was nothing more than just a communication issue between faculty and administration. That has been resolved, and our 6th graders will now be attending the mini concert up at West Essex. So I'd like to thank Dr. Cicatelli for responding promptly and taking care of that. It's very important. I also want to touch that after speaking with the board attorney, in 2024, we're going to launch a social media site that the Board of Education is going to use to pass information out to the community. It's not going to be a forum where it's going to be a give and take. It's just going to be used for informational purposes where we can promote things like the HSA, we can promote the Fairfield Education Foundation, we could promote any school events, anything that the teachers have going on, and basically a direct line of communication between us and the general public. So we're very excited and we're about working on that and working out the details. And lastly, I just want to touch, you know what, I'll save this for buildings and grounds. And the one other thing. Other than that, nothing else on the new business.
Okay. Committee reports?
I have 2. The Curriculum Committee met on November 27th. Anthony and I had a chance to meet with Dr. Cicatelli, Dr. Tribuco, Mr. Santana, and Ms. Cafone. Some of the key points of that came from Dr. Tribuco, who's also the Director of Curriculum and Instruction, sharing that we are not only in compliance with the standards and curriculum, but our district is serving as a model for surrounding districts as well. He also shared that Katie Prawl, who is a reading specialist at Stevenson, formed a group for intervention teachers from nearby towns where they have the opportunity to share ideas, research, best practices, and how to help struggling learners, and also shared that we're proud to be ahead of what many other towns are still working through. The Special Ed Committee, but the Special Ed Parent Advisory Committee held a meeting on December 11th. Anthony and I were also in attendance for Ms. Cafone's parent presentation. She reviewed what CPAC is and strategies that she plans to implement to grow the parent base and keep the committee active. The plan is to have wide open engagement with the community and parents to hold meetings above the state mandated amount. She reviewed the current program, shared ideas for future CPAC meetings and topics to be covered. And at the moment, Ms. Cafone's looking to form an executive committee quickly so they can begin meeting after the new year. There was also a Q&A session with input and suggestions from parents about what they'd like to see, about things that we may not currently have, and also discuss the possibility of collaborating with other CPACs from sending districts. And I believe a Google form has already gone out looking for volunteers to serve on the executive committee.
And just a brief update in regards to building and grounds. Recently, Joe Fidi and I had an opportunity to meet some of our administration members at Stevenson School. And since then, in an effort to secure our budget for next year, it's been decided that we're going to be moving our board office back to Stevenson School. So that'll be a huge saving for the district, and hopefully we can use that money to put towards the programs and the things that have been taken away in the past. So hopefully, that's something that'll go a long way. It's not easy. We're still working out the details, but it's been decided that that's the action that the board's going to take. So with that being said, we're very excited that we can free up some of that money in the budget and put it to better use.
Have any other committee reports? Okay, at this time, does anyone have any public comments on non-agenda items only? Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Good evening. My name is Jen Valenti.
And I am Vanessa Mayer. We are co-presidents of the Fairfield Education Association.
We would like to start by thanking the Fairfield community for passing the public questions in November that will allow us to reinstate many staff positions and student activities for the remainder of this school year. But we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge that our work has just begun.
The passing of public questions 1 and 2 is a necessary first step to addressing the many challenges that we are facing and that are further impacting our students. We are speaking tonight in an effort to shed light on some of the issues that continue to plague our district because of the children of our community deserve better.
One of these issues is teacher retention. While it is true that many districts are experiencing difficulty attracting and retaining staff, the current climate and culture in our buildings is driving staff out of our district at alarming numbers. These are teachers with 10, 15, even 20-plus years invested in our district.
The most recent changes to our staff by number are as follows. 2, the number of teacher resignations on tonight's agenda.
6, the number of teacher resignations since the start of this school year.
12, the number of teacher resignations since 2021.
20, the number of teachers and paraprofessionals that have left the district in that same time frame.
These are seasoned professionals that our students have lost. The years of experience, too many to even count. These are staggering numbers.
Teachers are leaving, whether it be for higher salaries, better working conditions, or the need to be treated with the respect they have earned and deserve. They are leaving. This exodus is having a direct impact on our workplace environment, which in turn affects our students' learning environment.
Yes, 2 public budget questions passed, a positive first step. And for that, we are thankful. But again, our work has just begun. We stand before you tonight as partners in education. We both want what is best for our students.
Let us unite in our commitment to creating an educational environment where our teachers thrive and are trusted to do their jobs, an atmosphere that enables us to inspire generations of learners and to contribute to the continued excellence of our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I know somebody else wanted to come up. Public comment?
Hi, Allison Miasso, 7 Southampton Drive. I feel like my timing is a little bit interesting because this morning, at 4 o'clock this morning, I was scrolling social media, I was preparing myself for the day, and I happened to notice something trending that was called Educator Inspired, and it really resonated with me. I reflected back on the many experiences my children have been afforded while being in the district. I'm a parent of 3 children, someone in Churchill, 2 in Stevenson, and I've been blessed with amazing educators who have really given of themselves, their time, their heart, and have created nurturing, wonderful environments. And I thought if I sat here, I could write prose upon prose of the various stories and ways that they've had impact in my children, which is therefore encouraged and supported my house. And I wanted to really speak tonight and just express on behalf of what I hope is many parents in this room and the community as a whole, just our recognition and our gratitude towards the teachers and the broader staff that support our children every day. I think there's a lot of awareness that there are challenges in our district. These are complex issues. I echo the sentiment that passing the budget items was truly just a first step, a necessary first step, but a true first step in what will hopefully be a longer journey towards us building back what we need in this district. But I wanted to take, just in this season of gratitude, in this season of the holiday spirit, an opportunity, not that I wanted to individually single out any one teacher, but just really to express my genuine gratitude for the continued commitment and the engagement that each teacher brings to the classroom every day, and know that we as parents recognize that there's elements that the board need to take forward, and we also as parents need to continue to step up. And I'm expressing on behalf of myself, many of my fellow members in the community who feel similarly, we are going to do what it takes. We need constructive solutions. These are not simple problems, but we want to work together in partnership. We recognize our role in that process, and we want to help create a continued environment where our children thrive and where the staff feel that they have nurtured careers that they can enjoy coming to, because those stories really are impactful. Teachers come into this profession to contribute of themselves. It is not usually salary-based. It is often motivated by their belief that they can inspire the next generation. It is critical for our town. It's critical for our society. And whatever we can do to support that is going to be necessary. So just on behalf of myself, my family, and hopefully many of us in this room, a message of thanks in advance of the holiday season.
Thank you. Do I have any more public comments on non-agenda items?
Hi, Frank Lamort, 4 Suzie Lane. 3 quick things. First of all, I appreciate everybody here, all the teachers, and I think we all feel the same way. I do think, too, that I said the same thing, that passing of the questions was the first step, but I just want to ask all of you, and I know, you're committed to our kids, we're on our way back to excellence. And I think that a lot more awareness is out there. I know there's a lot of us really talking about it. We have a lot of changes coming in the district with administration. So I know you guys have been in a tough situation, but I just want you to know, I think we can fix it. We're heading in that direction. It's just going to take some time. But I think with everything transpiring this year, and next year, with the new board, there's a lot going on. I think that it's going to, so I just hope you guys can hold out the good ones. I don't want you all to go. That was the first thing. The second thing is, I know we talked before about job postings, and I made a comment last time about where the postings are and whatnot. Is the board, I just want to make sure, I know that there's things that the superintendent, business administrator handle, and the board doesn't really have so much everyday involvement. I just want to make sure, I know we've talked about college fairs, new hires, bringing people in, I just want to make sure there's some accountability from the board to the administration to make sure we're really on top of all these opportunities. I know there's a lot of college fairs and things start happening. I just want to make sure we're really on top of that, because as people are leaving, and you gave the numbers, I want to, I don't want our teachers and our kids now to be suffering because there's people being pulled out of different things and lots of changes. And, I have a kid who, gets additional help with certain things. And I think those kids like that, they have routines, they're comfortable, it's that really is tough on the kids when there's lots and lots of changes and that. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing is, did we look into moving, instead of putting the board office into Stevenson, did we look into putting them in the trailers and moving the 3rd grade back, or what's the, I think,
So Frank, thank you as always, because Frank's on our Community Outreach Committee, which for many of you know, we are going to continue and open it up to a town hall in 2024, so we can get more parents and teachers involved that want to come and voice their opinions, that don't want to do it in a school setting, but want to do it. So thank you for that, Frank, and spearheading that. As far as the resumes, where they're posted, that's more of a superintendent, business administrator thing, so I can't touch on that. Maybe Kathleen will, but I have had an opportunity to sit with the administration several times over the course of the last month and a half, and it seems like there's a lack thereof resumes. I know on back to school night, I had an opportunity to sit down with Mr. Santana, and there was 2 resumes that he received for 2 or 3 positions. And he did say that they reach out to the colleges, they reach out to all this, sending districts, friends in other districts. So I know that they are trying. I just don't think we're getting the resumes in totality that we have in the past. And in regards to the moving the board office, so yes, it was explored. Unfortunately, there's no room in Churchill. That we knew that question was going to come up. We actually talked about it earlier today. Because of the amount of students in Churchill, there'd be no room to take the students out, and if we did, we'd have to put them on carts, and that's not something that we're,
They can't be moved back to the empty rooms at Stevenson, like, and then put the,
no,
there's not enough room.
no, there's
Okay.
not enough room.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have a public comment? Yep. No? Yep.
Hi, Corinne Sterney, 8 Kevin Terrace. It's a little loud. I feel like I'm in theme for the evening. I was on the website earlier, and I noticed that we have 23 open job positions. I'm in education myself, and I know you mentioned that of the new year starting a Facebook page. I think that would be great. In our district, we post jobs on Facebook, on Instagram. We even get jobs sent to us through our board set, like a secretary will send us job positions opening in other districts. So I don't know if that's something we could look into here. The other good thing is I noticed that we are going into negotiations this year. And I looked at our contract along with all the surrounding areas contracts. And scale-wise, you know, we could definitely do a little bit better. But really, maybe thinking about putting longevity in, keeping the teachers that we value and show them that they're worth. It's not a lot, you know, and it really makes a difference to those teachers, just that little bit. And also of adding in, I know we took it out a couple years back, but now there's a lot of districts are bringing it back, non-tenured teachers, giving them health insurance for their families and stuff like that. Because then you're getting teachers with qualifications coming to districts. A lot of people won't go into districts knowing that their families aren't going to get health insurance for the first 4 years. So I think that was my only thing. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Oh, and the last one, I'm a little nervous about the specials. I noticed that I think we lost a STEM teacher. I know the music teacher is going on maternity leave, awesome. But I think that leaves just the art teacher for our kids' specials as of right now. Is that correct?
Well, so I just want to say, it's hard to speak of teachers you don't know, but like Brian said, I happen to know Mrs. DeSorti. And I truly feel like the district is losing a diamond in the rough. I mean, like, to replace a Miss DeSorti is, it's going to be extremely difficult. And regardless of negotiations, which is here, we want to do everything that we can to give our teachers what they want in order to stay in a positive work environment, the tools necessary to be successful. But I've said this on many different board meetings. A lot of the concerns that are being brought up now are truly, they're not board issues. And when the board pushes to obtain information about some of these things like personnel, which we have no say in whatsoever, you know, we're often reminded that that's not in our realm of responsibility. So we're as concerned as you are, me in particular, and for the parents of students in this district who live here and whose children go here. As a parent, I feel your concerns, and we want to address this. We want to give the teachers everything they need. We want them to stay. It's just, you know, from what I understand and from what we're being told, it's extremely difficult to get the resumes in to rehire, which is why there's so many open positions. You know, so I'm not on the negotiations committee. You know, we have Angela and Andrea, and I know they're going to work closely to give the teachers what they need, you know, to be successful moving forward. But in regards to, you know, personnel issues, it's not something the board is responsible for. That's the responsibility of the administration, the superintendent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any more public comments on non-agenda items? Okay, at this time, so as you know, we have another board member leaving, Mr. Egan. This will be his last meeting. I've been with Brian for 13, maybe 14 years. He was on the board when I interviewed to first come onto the board. And he has really been a wonderful addition to this Board of Ed. And I can't say more great things about him, how much time and devotion that he puts in, whether it's at the meetings or not at the meetings or at home or at work. We all work very hard, even when we're not here. And it's between Pat leaving and now Brian leaving, it's just going to be, you're going to be truly missed. And thank you for everything you've done for this district for the last, how many years have you been on? 16?
I think 16.
About 16. Thank you for everything you've done for the last 16 years. We appreciate it. And it doesn't go unnoticed because we know what it's like to be on this side. And we appreciate everything that you've done. Oh, we got you a plaque.
McDonald's Employee of the Week?
Yes. You're on fries.
Can I read that? Yeah. If I may.
Thank you.
With great appreciation, this plaque is presented to Mr. Brian Egan. On behalf of the students, administration, staff, and fellow board members of the Fairfield School District, we extend our gratitude for sharing your experience, strength, and leadership with us, and commend you for your dedicated service to the children of the Fairfield School District. A board member since 2008, presented by the Fairfield School District and Fairfield Board of Education, December 4th, 2023. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. You will truly be missed. Okay, now we have the next meeting. Be it resolved, the next meeting will be held in person on January 4th, 2024, moving into a new year. Public work session beginning at 6:30, followed by executive session with public session resuming at 7:30 here at the Fairfield Municipal Building. I'd like to take the time to say happy holidays to everyone, and I hope you have a great holiday season, and we will see you in the new year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Motion.
Happy
Motion.
holidays.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. That's where we're at.
Community search. I'll send you an email.
Tonight I heard